Well, hello everyone and welcome. My name is Sam Reen, but you already know that. In today's video, I am going to give you the preview against Reading and a few other subjects, so sit back and enjoy as we begin the topics and the discussions. But obviously, if you're a Cardiff City fan or just a football fan in general, make sure you show love and support by smashing the like, commenting, sharing and subscribing, because subscriptions are vital for this channel. And so we begin with a great match between the two teams, both wishing to grab 3 points, but at the end it was the Bluebirds who flew past the Forest, and with the 3 points, which I'm just thrilled for the team. Everyone at Cardiff played their part when playing against Forest. I mean, you had Moore, who became the Bluebirds' shining light. The 2 goals from him were very solid and the overall picture was perfect at the end of the game. Every player on that pitch improved in performance, which was another talking point. Both youngsters, Ojo and Tutu, impressed, and I cannot wait for them to keep it up in the games coming up. And so with that said, overall the team performance from everyone we need to keep up the performance basically in the coming games to catch up from the rest of the pack, who are struggling of course, and I'm just shocked that they are struggling. Like Forest, they haven't even scored a goal yet, and that is so shocking. So with that said, I just feel that the team, after that great start, they just need to keep the ball rolling out. They need to grab a win against Reading, but that is later on in the that's the last bit of the podcast, so we're just gonna focus our attention on how great the Bluebirds were against Forest. And yeah, the overall picture, it was perfect like I said before. So yeah, overall it's a solid game from Cardiff. They played their tactics very well. They held off second half, and then we just got the win, which is fantastic. And that's all you can ask for the boys, and yeah, pretty awesome. So now that segment is over. Next segment, we are going to be discussing about the latest news. Excuse me. So, the next part of this podcast, we have got news roundup, in which we discuss the latest news within the world of football and Cardiff City. So let's begin with the latest bit of news that Hollywood actor and an all-round great actor Ryan Reynolds and co, who are putting money into the Wrexham football team, which is out of the blue. A Hollywood actor and a National League side Wrexham together. I would love to know the person who mentioned Wrexham to Ryan, because it's something special for everyone at Wrexham, and I hope it works well if it does happen. The next piece of news is that the fans returning to stadiums. They were going to bring back a lot of fans into football stadiums in October, but now the recent news from the government of England, Wales and Scotland is that there won't be any fans coming back to stadiums anytime soon. So the idea of, because I think they had an idea of fans returning 1st of October, so that would be too soon in my opinion. And plus, we have a virus, let's not forget about that. Some of these clubs want fans just because of money, but that is one bit of news. That is the next bit of news, of course. The final, I think, bit of news is that Bale is back, which is no surprise because the way he has been treated at Real Madrid is murder. he has been treated like dog poo at Real Madrid. The fans don't like him, Spanish media don't like him, the team don't like him, the board don't like him. So what's the point of having him at the club? Now, I think he can thrive because the love of everyone in the UK, just seeing Bale playing at his best again, just brings tears to the eyes of the greats. And yeah, I hope he does get a good run in for Spurs, and hopefully in the future he can score some goals. So yeah, with that said, fingers crossed he's doing great as a Welshman myself. It is exciting to see what he can do, because any club in the world is better than Real Madrid right now. So yeah. So with that said, the next part of the segment of the podcast is the EFL predictions. In this part of the podcast, we give you the predictions of the upcoming fixtures. So here we go, starting with tonight's game. Huddersfield taking on Nottingham Forest. Of course, Forest lost to Cardiff. So yeah, and Huddersfield themselves have yet to score goals. So both teams going into that one without scoring. I'm predicting a Forest win though, because there's only so much you can take without winning. So yeah, so I reckon 3-1 to the Forest, and I reckon that's going to be a tight game. Next up, we have, of course, Watford hosting Luton. And surprisingly, I might actually go with a Luton win, and I'm going to predict a 2-1 win to Luton, which is very, very good and exciting for Luton fans. But for Watford, who lost to neighbours of Cardiff, of course, Newport County, it's shocking, because how can you lose to, okay, it's Newport, yeah, but how can you lose to a team like Newport, League 2, and you were in the Premier League? So 3-1 as well at the end. So well done, Newport. Hopefully they can progress further into the cup competition. But with Luton, I'm predicting 2-1 to Luton away against Watford. Wycombe Wanderers take on the Jacks. Swansea City next. And both teams are looking for redemption after Wycombe lost 5-0 to Blackburn Rovers. So this, I'm predicting this match is going to be a draw between the two, because obviously they want to score goals, and I'm predicting both teams will score 2. So at the end of the day, it's going to be 2-2 from the both teams. Now, next up, we have got Barnsley Coventry, 2 teams who spend a lot of their time in League 1. So hopefully this can produce something magical. I doubt it can, but if so, I'm gonna just predict a 1-0 to the newly promoted team, Coventry. And that's going to be interesting, because both teams want to get off the mark as well. So, yeah. 1-0 to Coventry. The Brummies of Birmingham next, taking on Rotherham. And with Etheridge in goal, I cannot see Birmingham losing that many games this season. And starting today, well, tomorrow is Saturday, I believe Birmingham will beat Rotherham 3-1 to the Brummies. Derby taking on Blackburn next. Of course, Blackburn beat Wycombe 5-0 last time out, so they'll be confident going into this one. And yeah, it does seem like a tasty affair, so I'm going to predict a win for Blackburn, and as a result it will end up Blackburn winning by 2-1. Another big game next up will be Millwall taking on the likes of Brentford, and with this match I'm predicting a high score between both teams, and so I'm predicting a 3-3 draw, which is going to be interesting because both teams are good teams, and yeah, you never know. The next team to discuss is Preston, who take on Stoke City. Stoke City, I don't know what to make of Stoke at the moment, but I know what to make of Preston, and I'm predicting that Preston will beat Stoke, obviously, and I'm predicting 2-0 to Preston. I cannot wait to see if these predictions come true, but QPR taking on Borough, and of course I wish former Bluebird legend Neil Warnock all the best after contracting COVID-19, so hopefully he can fight the virus and come back fighting to the football pitch. But with QPR's record against Borough, I'm gonna say it is going to be a 1-0 win for Middlesbrough, which is going to be interesting to find out, but I doubt in reality that it's going to be 1-0, but who knows. The final few games now on Sunday, we have first on Sunday we see Bristol City hosting Sheffield Wednesday, obviously on -9 points, so I'm predicting a Bristol win 3-2. Now 3-2 seems like a big scoreline, but Bristol are a big team, so hopefully they can actually do something, and yeah, show people they are not messing around this season, which is going to be interesting. And so the final game sees former Premier League outfit Bournemouth taking on former Premier League outfit Norwich City. Now this is going to be a big scoreline. You can see it from a mile from the games that they already played, both teams. So I'm predicting a 3-2 to Bournemouth. I'm guessing Pookie will score. So yeah, I'm predicting 3-2 to Bournemouth, which is going to be fantastic. So that is it for the EFL predictions. But if you want to get involved, then be my guest and comment below what you think the predictions will be. Obviously, it's going to be potluck, but if you get any of them right, I will call you out next time. So make sure you predict and you think of the result in question. So yes, there we go. The next up is the preview to Cardiff City taking on top of the table Reading. So with a preview to the match, which I cannot believe I'm going to be saying this, but Cardiff City hosting Reading, who are top of the championship. If you look at last season, of course, Reading was nowhere near mid-table, so it is a surprise of how good a start they have, but that's the championship, I guess, and anyone can beat anything with the 2 games they had. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to find out what happens in this game, because it's going to be tough for both teams to win, because both teams are amazing teams. People would think Reading's not that amazing, but I guess Reading has to continue their streak, and so yeah. So yeah, because if we keep on a tough nut, if we are going to be going into the season with the aim of being a tough nut to crack, then we gain on the teams of Forest, who have yet to get off the mark this season. I think the lineup needs to be kept the same because players like Ojo and Tutu can thrive into the game, and I think we are home. We need to become. Well, I think actually, because we are home, we need to not become a team who scores the first half and then just sits back the second, obviously. And hopefully, with the tactics in mind, our manager Neil Harris has the tactics in force. So yeah, two great teams. I reckon this game is going to go end to end, and I reckon it's going to be massive for anyone who wants the 3 points. Now, we have got bags and bags of talent in our team. We got the greatest of defences, even though we have been leaky or we have been like struggling at the back a tad. That's why Bamba came back last time against Forest. But overall, I'm not too worried about the team's performance this weekend. So I'm gonna do something no one has done, and I'm gonna predict a win for the Bluebirds. So yeah, with Kiefer Moore, obviously Simon Moore, but yeah, with Kiefer Moore, I'm predicting he'll score at some point, alongside a surprise goal scorer of mine, Junior Hoylett, who impressed last time out against Forest. So yeah, hopefully we can get that result in, and I'm predicting this one. This is going to be a big game as well, so I'm predicting a win for the Bluebirds, and I'm predicting a 3-2 to Cardiff City. So hopefully that happens. So with that said in mind, that has been a wrap for today. In today's podcast, of course, we have chatted about Ryan Reynolds coming to Wrexham. We have discussed the EFL predictions. We have basically talked about everything in terms of football and Cardiff City. But if you are a football fan in general, or EFL, or even Cardiff City fan, make sure you show love and support for a fellow Bluebird himself, Sam Reen, by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing, because we here are the Bluebirds and hopefully we can win. But that's it for today. My name's Sam Reen. This is the Bluebirds podcast, episode 3, match week 3. And with that said, hope you fellow football fans stay safe and happy for this weekend. Return to football. Thanks again, and goodbye.